بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما وارزقني فهما اللهم ربي يسر ولا تعسر اللهم اجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا نور أبصارنا وصدورنا جلاء أحزاننا وهمومنا وذهاب غمومنا اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار واجعله لنا حجة يا رب العالمين اللهم آمين. Dear distinguished guest speaker, participants, listeners, viewers, brothers and sisters in Islam, Tahiyatul Islam to everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and good afternoon. Alhamdulillah, we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has guided us to the true path of Islam and also to listen and to understand, to recite this noble book, the Holy Quran, Kitab Allah. And tonight we are here to listen to Tadabbur al-Quran. And we have a very distinguished and very special guest speaker, Professor Dr. SOHIRIN MOHAMMAD SOLIHIN. He is a professor at International Islamic University, Malaysia, IIM, at the Department of Quran and Sunnah. We again welcome to Kata, Qibla Academy of Tadabbur al-Quran, and to weekly public lecture in English. Qibla Academy of Tadabbur al-Quran, basically a very unique and a very noble institution, academy, actually solely work and research for Tadabbur al-Quran, where many national and international scholars, professors, doctors giving lecture in 3 languages, in Arabic on every Saturday, in English on every Monday, and on Wednesday in Bhasa Malay. So you all again invite you on behalf of Qatar to join in our program, either in English or in Arabic or in Bhasa Malay, that is comfortable for you. Every week we have many integrated and very colorful and renowned Islamic scholars who are experts in tafsir and ulum tafsir and tadabbur al-Quran. Likewise, today we have a very special guest speaker, Ustaz al-Asatiza Fadilatul Sheikh, Ustaz al-Dr. SOHIRIN MOHAMMAD SOLIHIN. Subhanallah, when I was reading his CV, he is really a great professor and alim, Ustaz al-Asatiza Fadilatul Sheikh Dr. SOHIRIN MOHAMMAD SOLIHIN. Basically, he is from Indonesia, but he is now has been teaching for last 26 years. I mean, from 1996 to now at International Islamic University, IIM, at the Department of Quran and Sunnah. I am very delighted to introduce some magnetic part of his academic, educational background, and also his scholarly legacy and the contribution in the field of tafsir and ulum tafsir. That is our topic, Tadabbur al-Quran. Dr. SOHIRIN MOHAMMAD SOLIHIN, he completed his early pre-university courses and degree in Indonesia, Dawa Institute in Jakarta, faculty of, then he completed his bachelor degree from Kulliyah of Dawa from Al-Azhar University, Egypt. Then he also completed the advanced diploma in Mahad al-Dirasa al-Islamiyya from Cairo, Egypt. Then he moved to UK, where he has completed his master, MPhil and PhD one master is in Markfield Institute in Birmingham, registered England, and then he completed his MPhil at University of Birmingham, UK. Then completed his PhD also at the same university, University of Birmingham, and his PhD thesis was very interesting, modern trend of Quranic exegesis. So Sohanal also worked around the world in a number of prestigious higher institutions and universities. Like he was a research fellow at the Oxford University in UK. Then he also now has been teaching, as I mentioned earlier, at the Department of Quran and Sunnah from 1996 to 2022. It means, subhanAllah, he is teaching as an associate professor and also our ustaz at IIM for the last 26 years. He is also ustad of many asatiza. I say ustad under his supervision. I saw around 21 students that finished, completed PhD. He was the mushrif or the supervisor, and also 21 master's students completed under his supervision. He has published around 20 books, mashallah, related to Quran, tafsir, ulum tafsir, and tafsir and sociology, and tafsir and the human sociology. So he also published 35 articles in international journal that published in Q1 to Scopus and I journal as well. He also published, mashallah, 5 book chapters in various universities and institutions. So this is our Ustaz, Fadilatul Shaykh, Dr. SOHIRIN Muhammad Solihin. So we are very humbled to invite you, Ustaz Fadilatul Shaykh, Dr. SOHIRIN Muhammad Solihin, to deliver his speech. And the topic is very interesting for today that we have already circulated and shared with you earlier. Our public lecture topic for tonight is Quranic governance, universal declaration of equality of mankind. So inshallah, we listen to our Ustaz, Fadilatul Shaykh, Ustaz Dr. SOHIRIN Muhammad Solihin. Ustaz.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه ومن دعا بدعوته إلى يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Okay, thank you very much for the introductions, for your kind words, Brother Hidayatul Islam. And I'm really very honored tonight just want to share with you regarding the what are the main thing within the content or the certain aspect of the doctrine which is contained in the Quran itself. So I'm really very grateful for the academy for this so basically that one I just to share with you, all of you, regarding the certain aspects. So just the flashpoint on regarding the certain aspect of the doctrine, or we can say like this, or the teaching or the message of Quran. I'm not referring to any textual evidence within the text. I just want to by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then to be used for the mankind. So the addressing of the Quran is basically not only for the Muslim, rather it is for the entire of humanity. On that one, it shows that as the Quran, which is the main source of the Islamic religion, and Islam is known as the universal religion. I think most of you have come to the view here. Let me share with you the first thing. what we call, and when we say that Islam is the universal religion. And in fact, that all the messages given to the previous prophet prior to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of the message of the given to the previous prophet, it was not at the it not was international or the global level, rather the message of the previous was only confined to the ritual level. The message of the previous prophet just for the end of the time. So here it was related with, it is related with the invocation by the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam at the time. You know that one, after the completions of the reconstructions of the Kaaba, you know that one from the Islamic point of view, that it is, I think this is a common understanding by the public, that one, that the Prophet Ibrahim was known as the founder of Kaaba, but in fact it was not him. The founder of the Kaaba was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because of this, when you look at into the text, evidence is Ibrahim al-Qawa'ida min al-Bayti wa Ismail. So it means that when the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was just only reconstructed or the raised the foundation of Kaaba. It was the Kaaba was already there, the praise of Kaaba, it was deliberately that it was created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala since the time of Adam alayhi salam. So you know that one, after the completion of the reconstructions of the edifice of the Kaaba in the hands the Prophet Ibrahim and the Prophet Ibrahim al-Islam, he made the invocation, the special dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give the Prophet in which he will propagate, in which he will promote the teaching of that revelation, not only confined to the Arab region, rather the teaching of the Prophet should expand it to the whole of humanity. I'll share with you a little bit here. You see that one, before the emergence of Islamic religion, because of these days, people might think on sometimes it was it has been claimed, especially by the numbers of the non-Muslim scholars, who claim that Islamic religion is the youngest of religion in the world. They may say like that. It is not correct, that one is not. It depends on what the era in which they start calculating what the Islam itself, because Islam was not started from the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rather, Islam, it was started from the Prophet Adam alayhi salam. But if the Western scholars or the non-Muslim scholars, they start calculating the Islam which was given to the Prophet Muhammad, it could be just partly true that Islam was the youngest religion. But you know this one, because the youngest religion, although Islam, it was characterized or it was claimed by the non-Muslim scholars as youngest religion, could be partly true. Because you see, when you look at into the situation in which we live here, especially in the Southeast Asian region, and I just referred into the Southeast Asian region in which that we are here, especially I myself have been serving in this the National Islamic University. It was pointed out by the brother chairperson, that one. I've been working since almost that 26 years until now. That before the arrival of Islam in Malay Archipelago, that's already emerged another religion. So here my issues here, the revelation given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, it was declared at the universal level. You know that one, this is my humble opinion on that one. You know that Allah created the humanity. When Allah created all mankind, at the same time, Allah provided the guidance of the revelation. That is a matter of fact. Because you see, in this world, there are so many challenges in this world. You know that because of that, it has been given the hint by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Adam alayhi salam was given the warning when he was expelled from paradise. He was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that there will be the situation in which that you entirely different by the time when you just enjoyed Allah's facility in the paradise. Living in this world, there will be a lot of problematic, a lot of challenges, and human being should not run away from the challenges. The challenges itself or the problem is such a part of the life in which that human being that should handle the problem from the guidance of the revelation. Because of this, humanity here, because of this, I'm saying this one declaration Allah declared in the Quran. as the universal to be meant as the governance, the source of the governance. You know that one previously, that one the term which used that Islam as way of life, but of course terminologically it's changing, different terms here and there on that one. Even now these days, people they may say there's a different term which is related to the source of the governance. So meaning that when we have to govern, when Allah provided this revelation of the Quran to be used as the source of governance, how to govern our life in order that not go into the wrong direction. It's not go into the misleading in their way of life and such kind of the thing in handling the issues of humanity on that one. So here, I think the beauty, you must understand here, Quran was addressed not only for the Muslim, but also for the non-Muslim. Living in this world at the same time is characterized by the plurality in this world. It does really, it is a part of the wills of Allah. According to my humble opinion, it is a part of the wills of Allah that Allah created humanity in all aspects of life. Diversity of races, diversity of ethnicity, diversity of nation, even diversity of the religion. So when you look at into diversity of that religion, it is the really deliberation Allah created in such kind of the thing. The purpose of giving these revelations, the Quran is known as the authentic revelation given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order, while you interact with others, you should be governed with that revelation in order reach into, quote unquote, if I can say this one, reaching into the perfections of life. What do you mean the perfection of life? People may say there is no perfection of life. The meaning that perfection of life is meant here, that in order that human being reach into the level of this balance between living in this world and living in the hereafter. People these days might think that I'm always thinking that religion does not really regulate about this life after the death. Not regulate on that one. Religion is given by Allah to govern our life in this world. Because of this, if the certain people they're preoccupied with the thinking about the hereafter all the time, in the hereafter, of course, there will be the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whenever we comply in our life to be governed our life with the use of that revelation itself. So this one, because of this here, I'm saying when you talk about this, especially I'm saying the human, Islam is very concerned about the life of humanity. Must know that humanity must have the mission in the life, the living in this world is not only for fulfilling the satisfactions of the desire, rather the life have the certain mission. I think that one, if you have the mission here, if you may know that one, the mission in the Quran is given this, the different dimensions of the missions of humanity. Some of them that we might say, okay, the aims of in which that Allah mentioned in different places that Allah did not create humanity except that one have to to worship Him. And it's very much in the Quran that everybody knows about it. So here this one, how to worship. The people, they may say this, the worship is about what is what. Sometimes, because you see that when we talk about the ibadah and worship and everything and so on and so on. Worship here, this one does not only confine into the spiritual services, into the spirituality. Because of this here, when you talk about spirituality and also the activity of human life, there must be balance. Otherwise, you see that one, I think this one, if you know this one, especially you compare, I don't know, because you see sometimes when you talk about the message of the Islam in which that need to be propagated to others, that unfortunately most of Muslims, they may confine their interaction with the Muslim, even in the work of da'wah. The work of da'wah normally is just only addressed within the Muslim community, in which the work of da'wah, this one to be addressed to all humanity through the interactions in the society itself. Through the interaction to the society, that you can expose yourself. This is the beauty of Islam. This is the teaching of Islam, which is really complies with the human nature. Okay, this one, I think this is another aspect in which I'm going to focus here, especially. Number thing, that when Allah declared that humanity, as the universal declaration number one, which really promote the justice. In addition to that one, Islam is promote the equality of mankind. Because of this, in the side of Islam, I think that the concept of egalitarian is there. The concept of egalitarian of there. I think that's one. If any of you who studied about the communism, in the past, that one you see in the past, I'm saying, I think that one in the last 2 decades, on the 3 decades on that one, communism was well responded. Because of what? Because communism, they promote, which under the slogan of this, egalitarianism on that one. But egalitarianism from the communist point of view and egalitarian from Islam is completely different on that one. Egalitarian from Islam, from the communist, is mean that human being must be given the same portions of the life. This one, the house must be the same size, the income unthinkable and will not be possible to be applied in the life of that humanity as such kind. Humanity in Islam is this equal in terms of the status, in which there is, that Islam does not recognize, which called the caste in other religion. Islam does not recognize this one. What is this? The distinction between the background and rational and such kind of thing. That one. You see that one. Even the Prophet ﷺ, he was the one who was born as an Arab. But the Prophet, he clearly mentioned, that when the egalitarian in Islam, in which that when human beings are equal in the same, there should not be any discrimination about human being. Islam is very much against discrimination. Because of this, that one, I think in the history of Islam, historically on that one, there's so many evidences. If you look at it in the history, like the Malcolm X, when he converted into Islam, that one, when he was discriminated because he got what do you call it, as between the white and the non-white people and such kind of the thing. When he saw this Islam really declare on equality of mankind, this is the one on that one. The other aspect, I think, especially I'm going to touch upon the issues here, especially which is related with the issue that, that one I was saying before that, I was saying plurality in the creation, plurality all aspects of Allah. We couldn't deny on that one, including in all, because of this year, when even diversity of thinking, diversity of ideas, the part of the Sunnatullah, in order that one who have the sound ideas, you can interact with others. This is the life in this one, because living in this world is characterized by the rival, by the competition. The competition between ideas, competition which is right and wrong. This is the main duty of that Muslim. That's one, to compete in promoting the goodness based on the revelation. The thing on that one, this and we have to point out here, especially to ensure, because when Allah sent that revelation to be taken as the source of guidance, that the source of governance, how to govern your life. You have to govern your life with these of the revelation in order reaching into what's called into peaceful of life, peaceful and tranquility. Because you see that one, now that one, I think although the people that follow diversity of religion, those who believe in revelation, those who believe in religion, they still have some of the positive thinking in which religiosity is something which is important in the life of humanity. But we have to understand on that one, what is sort of religion? Because Allah claims in the Quran, Allah's claim that one, the religion, the only religion which is really accepted by God, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is Islamic religion. On that, I think this one, of course, there is the certain aspect, the truthfulness of that revelation. I think that's what this is the beauty, that one, that one, especially when we understand the certain, the textual revelation, the textual of revelation, especially revelation of the Quran, it is to promote establishment the truth and justice, because Allah Himself, Allah is characterized, when you talk about God, When you talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's called Tawheed. When you talk about Tawheed, it's been the oneness of the truth. The oneness of the truth of justice. On that one. That's the meaning Tawheed. Tawheed is about. Unfortunately here, that's one, sometimes you see that one. I noticed, this is my humble views regarding the Tawheed. You know, they had the different diversity of this school of thought regarding the Tawheed itself. Yeah, Tawheed, I don't know that one, perhaps among the audience, among all these brothers and sisters who share with me tonight in my humble talk, that one. People may subscribe into different school of thought on Tawheed. What sort of Tawheed are you going to call? What sort of the school of thought on Aqidah that you scribe on that one? Are you Salafis? Are you non-Salafis? Another thing. For my understanding, you become Salafis, you are free on that one. This is the part of the freedom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even that I'm saying, even if in the context or the outside context of the Sunni, even if you are outside context of the Sunni, you believe in your Tawhidic worldview according to the school of thought, you are free on that one. The only thing we have to understand, you see that one, some people, when they understand what Tawhid, as mentioned in the Quran, because Quran is the main teaching of the Tawhid, is really the oneness of God, the oneness of divinity, the oneness of Allah. The problem in understanding of Tawhid is when talk about the Tawhid, Tawhid is only linked with the attributes of God. Yes, whether you have to believe the interpretation of this one, Al-Rahman wa al-Arsh istawa, and you follow the Salafi or non-Salafi. So it's okay. I don't have any objection. You have freedom on that one. I think, especially in the context of the Malay world, the ideas or the Tawhid might be different to the Arab world. The Malay world the Muslim of the Malay world, normally they subscribe about this Al-Ash'ira, Al-Maturid, and so on. Okay, for me it's okay, fair enough. Even some of them who subscribe into Salafist thought, also I don't have any objection on that one. The main issues here is that one, we have to link the Tawhid with the social interaction. The Tawhid must have implication in the social life of that human being. It is really unfair. The person who claim themselves, oh, I'm the followers of or subscribers of the certain school of thought, but when come into the social interaction, when come into the financial transaction, is completely against the Tawhid. When they involve in business, they deceive the customers. When even the Muslims, they come out with an authority. Yeah, what sort of the authority? Authority is not necessarily the top level of the authority. The authority we have, everybody has the authority. When Muslim become the head of the family person, the way they behave, the way how treat the wife, the way how treat the husband, and the way they treat the children is completely far away from the values of Tawhid. Because as you said, the values of Tawhid, which is based on goodness and kindness of that one. So the goodness, kindness, and justice, this is characterized by the Tawhidic worldview. The Tawhid is characterized in such kind of the thing. Because you see, brothers and sisters in Islam, because when you talk about these days, unfortunately, the beauty, I can say this, of course, the beauty of the Islamic revelation, the beauty of Islam, the beauty of the Quran. Quran is being recited in all the time here and there. Islam has been recited through the microphones, in the mosque and everything. But the values of the Quran sometimes is really far away from the society itself on that one. It's mean, this one, they are again the concept of Tawhid. Because of this, I think these days there's certain Muslim scholars, they came out with the view that's called not only Tawhid has been divided into different parts. Number one called Tawhid al-Aqaidi, that's one related with the attributes of Allah, Sifatullah, and so on. There's another aspect with the Tawhid is related to the Tawhid al-Ijtimai, sociological Tawhid. I'm really concerned with the sociological of Tawhid in the world of today. You can see this one in our life, in the Muslim world in particular now. Despite of this, the beauty of this, the message of the Quran, which call people to follow the truth and justice. That's what the Muslim world now still be, because that one facing this crisis, which is really unprecedented in the previous centuries on that one. They're bombarding each other, they're killing each other in the names of Islam. And what are the values of Tawhid on that one? This is, I'm saying, the concern on that one. Because of this year, make sure on that part is like this. Another aspect in which that I'm going to focus is related with this, how to prove that this is, Islam is known as the moderation, or the teaching of the Quran is really called into the moderation, and the teaching of the Quran, the message of the Quran contain absolute truthfulness. The only thing here, okay, this is you must have you must to distinguish between the content, with the textual of the revelation and the interpretation of the textual of the revelation itself. You know that one. Some Muslim scholars, they came out with the view, which is now, especially this is regardless of maybe you agree or disagree, it's no problem, because of this. Yeah, this is the Islamic thought. Islamic thought keep on emerging the way how to interpret the certain verses of the Quran to be interpreted, to be understood contextually, which is really complies with the changing of the time. Because Quran, the language of the Quran, the message of the Quran never gets stagnant. The language of the Quran, the message of the Quran is always complies with the changing of the time. How the changing can be reconciled, can be given the remedy from the Quranic point of view itself. Because of this, you see that one, Islam is completely wrong, which is understood that Islam is a very narrow-minded viewpoint. Because of this here, when you see the truth, I'm saying regarding the truth, Muslim scholars, they came out with the view that truth is not necessarily to be found in the Quran. There are the certain truth which can be found in the outside of the Quran itself. This is, to me, that one shows that Islam is open the horizon of thinking. The Quran gives the horizon of thinking to humanity, in which to take the truth from any source on that one on that. Because of this one, you see only the Muslim scholars, quote unquote, you might agree or disagree, that the Muslim scholars who are known as this, called as the reformist Muslim scholars. Because of this, I'm changing this here. The way how to deal with the Quran, the way how to deal with the Quran is always different from time to time, based on the situation, based on the changing community on that one. That the changing situation must be dealt with the Quran to show that this is the main message of the Quran, really, number one, complies with human nature, does not contradict with human nature at all. I think this one, the beauty of Islam and such kind of thing. I was saying, brothers and sisters, I was saying that one, you see that Islam has been claimed by the non-Muslim as the youngest of the religion. But although Islam was claimed as the youngest religion, but Islam is really the fastest in terms of growth. You can understand now that when you see that one, that's the jargon in the certain Western world. They may say now, the sun shine from the west. I think if you look at it with historical fact, I think you have to know that one is even the colonial rulers. Colonial rulers, that one like this, I don't know which part of the colonial rulers. I think we got so many colonial rulers which colonized the part of the Muslim world as such. But I just refer to one thing, this one. If you look at into the statement given by the Napoleon Bonaparte, I think that Napoleon Bonaparte, he was one of the cruelest rulers who really sucked the bloods of the Muslims in Egypt in particular on that one. But when he abandoned the land of Egypt at that time, he gave the statement in which that statement is preserved in the history of today. He said that one, Islam, in fact, is the religion, the best of religion in the world, which call into the promotion of justice. And he added in his statement, one day that Islam will dominate the whole Europe. This is what he claimed on that one. So here, why did I such kind of the thing? And these days, people, you may believe, we believe in collaboration between diversity of religion. I'm saying that when we believe in collaboration between other religions in promoting the truth and justice. Because of this here, Islam, in the Quran itself, the way the Quran is not teaching the Muslim to be exclusive. Islam is teach the Muslim to be horizon, to broaden horizon of thinking. because it's a part of the will of God, as I said. Allah deliberately created humanity, diversity of thinking, diversity of religion, to let you know that one to interact with each other. This one during the interaction, this is the problem sometimes with the Muslim. When the Muslim interact, you see sometimes the interaction of the Muslim, which is really confined among the Muslim themselves. I think this one, I think quite recently that I saw the outcome of the research, with the new Muslim convert. The new Muslim convert, especially referring to new Muslim converts from the Chinese background in Malaysia, that one. When he became Muslim, he tried this one to investigate what's the Chinese community who converted into Islam and the numbers of the Chinese community who converted into Christianity. According to his finding, that's one, Chinese who converted into Christianity has the larger number compared to the Chinese who converted in Islam. What is the reason? The reason shows, according to him, that based on his field research, that when he approached a certain individual in the community on that one, did ever Muslim come to you to accept the Islam? Most of them, they denied. I do not hear anything from any Muslim who introduced the Islam about. Rather, there's the Christian who introduced what the Christian about. Because of this, the numbers of the Christians increase here in Malay world, especially in Malaysia, compared to the Muslim South. So here I'm explaining the issues when we talk to interact, when you talk about da'wah. Islam, because Islam is really this one to be promoted. The Quran requires all the followers to promote based on the two things, Bashiran wa Nadiran. This is the main concept, the main of doctrine of the Quran, the Bashira. Bashiran wa Nadiran. So many things we see in the Quran, wa ma arsalnaka illa kafatan linnas bashiran wa nadiran walakin aktharan nas la ya'lamun. What is bashara? When you talk about bashara, let's come into this to understanding. Bashara is mean giving the assurance that the doctrine of Islamic religion never contradict with human nature, rather it complies with human nature itself. This is the thing, this one, that we have to promote, that humanity and that one. Islam does not suppress the desire. Rather, the desire makes sure that one to be channelized based on Allah's guidance and such kind of the thing. This is one way that the Muslim should go with understanding and dealing with the Quran. Quran must be actualized through the behavior in day-to-day life in the Muslim until the non-Muslim can witness the beauty of Islam itself and such kind of the thing. You know this one, if I claim this one, you know that these days there is the promotion, especially among, because of the emergence of the diversity of ideas. Some of the ideas, this says, I think this is the thing which is really the hot issues, or can say this quote unquote, maybe as the contemporary issues in the community. What is that counter issues? People, they're promoting, you should not claim that your religion is better than others. That is the word they claim. I think if you look at into the certain I can say the new philosophical ideas for promoting different of religion on that one, by saying this one, each subscribers, each adherent of the religion should never say that your religion is better than others. Rather, you must have the readiness to say all religion are equal and all religion calling into the goodness. This is the idea. It sounds so beautiful. It sounds so nice, but it has some dangerous issues behind on that one. How to prove it on that one? Because they have the argument that I think that most of you have known, especially now the philosophy of the pluralism, as well, which is being promoted in most part of the Muslim world, sometimes which is go beyond the limit. Because of this, you have too much to know. When you say Islam is really the best of the religion, Islam is the thing which accepts the religion, you have to prove it based on the logical thing and such kind of the thing. Okay, this is the thing. And this one, when now, this one, you see, regardless of this, the certain campaign for, because there's something which happened also in the days of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The characters and behavior of the unbelievers, they're mocking the Islam and they humiliate the Islam. This is the behavior, such kind of a thing. But you should not run away on that one. We have to be realistic. This one, to explain it to them. Sooner or later, they must come into the consciousness on that one. Although now this is the rigorous campaign for the Islamophobia in the hands of the non-Muslim, but Islam will keep on flourishing on that one, such kind. Because I think it's one, you look at now this one there, there's a certain, the non-Muslim world, they're suffering from the declining of the population. I think, as you may heard, the statement, okay, the statement, I think I refer here that one, the statement that I ever heard and I've read on that one, especially when you look at into now this one, the Muslims are flourishing, the numbers of them is growing so fast in all part of the world. You go that one now, that one, the fastest growth of the population in the West, especially like in France and even in Japan today. Japanese growth of religious growth, numbers, this is the Muslim on that one. Even, you know, that one, because of what? Because especially the women, I can quote and quote at modern women. Modern women, they may say, okay, when you got married, the purpose of marriage is only to live together and also for enjoyment of that life. But in Islam, no, the life that makes sure when you get married must have the purpose to produce, to prepare the future generation. That is one of the aims, one of the intention, one of the big, I can say the aims, which is the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because of this, everybody knows that one, there's marriage is a part of life, the marriage of the partner. Because of this, you can imagine that one. Again, when each, I'm sharing to everybody, okay, I'm challenging, in the sense I'm sharing with everybody. When somebody says, all religions are equal, this one, the judgment on the truthfulness of the religion is the time of putting that religion into the practice. Because you see, it's, there's some people, no, you cannot claim that your religion is the best, is better than other, because when you claim that your religion is better than other, this is the elements of the growing the tension in the community. That we should avoid the tension. In order not emerging the tension, we make sure that the religion are equal. This is the claim on such kind of the thing, because their argument is clear. The argument says that all the religion teach the goodness. This is the claim on that one. So what is the point on that one? Of course, Islam also share with the, as I said earlier, especially I'm saying this one, the new thinking in the hands of the exegetes of the Quran, or the interpreters of the Quran, because of the when you look at into the interpretations of the Quran, the interpreter of the Quran, it differ from one person to another. There hardly any agreement of the interpretation of the Quran. The interpretation of the Quran is depend on the background of the civilization of the interpreter of the Quran. By having the new background, this is the way that they explain the religion with different tone with each other on that one. Because of this, sorry for that one. There's now that one, back to the interpretation. When the Muslim scholars, some of them, are not necessarily all. Because of this, you may agree and you may disagree on that one. I'm looking into the one of the views that I refer to one of the views. This is the scholars like this Sheikh Jamaluddin Al-Afghani and others who are known as the reformist thinkers, quote unquote. Because when I talk about the reformist thinkers, you may say, oh, people may agree and say, okay. Disagreement and discuss something, but the way that one had thinking on that one, he came to the conclusion that one, the truth is not necessarily to be found only in the Quran. There is the certain aspect of the truth which really come from the mind and also even from the revelation of non-Muslim. I'm saying, because you see this one, I'm using the word of revelation here, because revelation is the word which is used both by a Muslim and also by the non-Muslim. Okay, we may find some the aspect of the goodness in the other people religion. In goodness of the people religion, in the society, in which we have to collaborate with each other on that one. This is a meaning on that one. So here, when you look at into this, the judgment, how that when somebody try to make it equal of the religion on that one. The judgment is at the time when you practice that religion. If you practice the religion, you feel hardship, and creating the hardship in your life, it means there is something wrong with the religion. You might ask the question here, that what is there any hardship? Because I was claimed also based on the truth, on the concept of fitrah, the teaching of the doctrine of that revelation of the Quran never contradict with human nature. Rather, it gives the perfection to human life. The perfection in the sense is one into the balance of life and such kind of the thing. Life living with the spirituality is something become the emptiness. I think that one, if you look at it to the compare, because of this, you see, brothers and sisters, I'm sharing with you here. It is needed sometimes that you to share with others, regardless and across the religious boundaries. Sometimes just you see the grievances, you express what are the sometimes that, especially in my case, in my humble interaction with the non-Muslim, especially just very simple. In fact, that one, of course, during the time in the non-pandemic situation, that I used to walk sometime with my neighbors when doing the exercise, joking together. While we are joking, you express that one, you talk to each other. By hearing such kind of thing, you know this is the grievance deficit and such kind of the thing. When you try this one to expose to others, because of this one here, the Muslim has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please make sure Allah created humanity in diversity of races, in diversity of thinking, in diversity of religion, to give the chance for the Muslim, the chance for the Muslim to interact with them, interact in positive way by maintaining the Islamic identity as such kind of the thing. This is, I'm saying, the one of the thing. You know that one toward the end, that one, this is the revelation given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the same time, this one here has to maintain at the same time as the peacefulness. Because of this one, Islam is religion of peace. Because of this, you see that Islam completely wrong to be said Islam is very exclusive. No, Islam is very inclusive in the same. You have to interact. Does not discriminate on that one. When you talk about this, such kind, unfortunately, that sometimes you see that when I humbly study about sociology, in which that perhaps previously I do not really touch on the issue of sociology. When you talk about sociology from the Western perspective, what is sociology is about? From the Western perspective, sociology is only understanding diversity of culture, and diversity of culture within your community. This is the sociological thing. But in Islam, it's not only understanding diversity of culture, means sure that one diversity of culture to maintain harmonious relation. Because of this, Islam gives such kind of the direction how to live in neighborhood life. Neighborhood life in Islam is the sociological interaction. Sociological interaction, such kind of the thing. You know that when you look at into the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when in the hadith is very famous thing, because you see at the same time when you talk about the Quran it cannot be excluded from the hadith, because the Prophet was the exponent. The hadith of the Prophet is known as the exponent what was mentioned in the Quran itself. You can imagine that one. It's the beauty of that hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, معنى الحديث إذا طبخت مرقة فأكثر ماءها فأعطي جيرانك بالمعروف. This is the principle of this sociological interaction. When you said that when the Prophet, especially this one addressed to all these ladies, make sure that the one day the ladies are cooking the beautiful, delicious food, you should not victimize your neighbor. Make sure that your neighbor must be offered a certain portion. By having this kind of the interaction, you know, in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ mentioned this one, exchange the gift will increase the love among each other, strengthening the ties of that humanity. This is sometimes this one. What is the point that the term Islam is known as the exclusivism? Because of this, I'm saying this one, the declarations of the Quran really to be taken number one at the source of governance. The governance is not how to govern your life as way of life. That's in the individual level, in the family level, in the social level, and in the long part, maybe in the state level and such kind of thing. Because of this, the values of Islam, you know that one, I think, because I remember the one of the Orientalists one of the Orientalists whom I knew by the time, everybody knows perhaps on that one, the Orientalists, there was, certain Orientalists, I'm saying the Orientalists are hardworking, they're hardworking to understand what Quran is about, but from their own perspective. One of the Orientalists, he said, oh, I prefer the Quran is only Meccan surahs. I don't like the Medinan surahs. That's what he claimed and such kind of the thing. Because according to him, Meccan surahs is really related with the spirituality. Medinan surah somehow is related to the politics and such kind of the thing. So here, this is the way the Orientalist says and such kind of the thing. So Islam should be combined between the two things on that one, between spiritualism at the same time with the social interaction. Because here when you say the Medinan surah and the Medinan chapters of the Quran, it talk how to interact in the community, not only to believe in spiritual and such. Because of this, spirituality must be expanded toward the end. Spiritually must be practiced in the community, because you see the judgment on the truthfulness of Islam, the goodness of the Muslim is to be judged at the time of the interaction. Not only the goodness of Muslim to be judged only at the time of performing the spiritual practice. Performing spiritual practice will not be known by others, only will be known by exclusively by the Muslim. But when you interact in the community, regardless of religious orientation, because of this, you make sure that Islam says, what is Islam about? Ishhadu bi anna Muslimun. There is this Allah's declaration. Give witness, ishhadu bi anna Muslimun. This is Muslim way of life. This is Muslim behavior in such kind of the thing. This is I'm saying, if we have such kind of the spirit of that one, number one, the spirit of declaration of Islam is universal in terms of this dealing with humanity without having any discrimination, offer the kindness and goodness to others. This one what we have to do on that one. Unfortunately, that one I noticed that what I think still lacking in the Muslim community today. Mostly this interaction is really confined exclusively within the Muslim, even within the Muslim themselves, and not really sufficient as it is expected, but not outreaching it to the non-Muslim. Because of this here, I'm saying again this one, the declarations of the Quran makes sure to be known as the source of guidance. To one thing I have to maintaining the peaceful coexistence. We cannot live alone. We cannot exclude ourselves. We have to interact. Because of this, you have some amazing thing in the Quran. You see that one, because sometimes, as I said this one, the way how to deal with the Quran, to be contextualized. You know that when the Quran mentioned here, this one, I think one day I saw this, our beloved brother Yusuf Islam, this one, the Cat Stephen, and he started singing again, and a long time ago he suspended the activity, but when he first started singing, I saw that one, he said he read that surah, that one, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qabalan lita'arafu inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. So here there was ta'aruf here. Ta'aruf, not just only knowing each other, where are you from, what is your identity. Ta'aruf has been here, including interaction, collaboration. Because of that, I think our university, the Islamic International Islamic University, and other universities also, they promote the collaborative research collaboration to find out the truth and justice. I think that's one this is today, that one, especially, okay, this is the beauty I'm saying. I'm focusing for the normative guidance. But in terms of the development of the science and everything, we have to accept the fact that Muslims are still left behind, I think that one I saw that one, the debate within the mass media, that one, the Muslim between the rejection and acceptance on the vaccination system. Some of the Muslims who rejected the vaccine based on the ground, the vaccine was produced by the non-Muslim. That's what they argue about that one. The issue here is we have to come out, because you see, this is the thing which is lacking. I think a part of this the glory of Islam at the time of this golden age of Islam, we forget about that. Alhamdulillah, that we got the historical legacy, the golden age of Islam. But you should not become nostalgic, become the, what we call as this apologetical approach. We have to come out with the two things. We come out with the thing because you see on that one, until today, that one, because of this Muslim, because the only religion only the scriptures. I think if you study the comparative religion, this one, there is hardly any the scriptures in this world which really talking about seeking the knowledge, the concept of the knowledge, as much as it is mentioned in the Quran itself. This is something, the thing that we cannot negate on that. The only problem here is that Muslims should really come out with the thinking, come out with the new ideas, how to conceptualize the knowledge. Because of this, the conception of the knowledge, and we are expecting, because the Quran was given to the Muslim. And if I'm referring to the Quran was really revealed in Arabia, in Makkah at that time, and Medina, the Meccan and Medinan people should be in the forefront, that one, in terms of development of the sun and everything. But as a matter of fact, I'm not putting blame to anybody, but this is the real thing which is Muslims are still left behind. Because of this, you see that in the past, there's so many things, the Muslim scholars that came out with the new orientation of the Quranic exegesis. By this one, especially there is the scientific orientation of tafsir, with the hope, with the expectation that when Muslims, they read about the Quran and have the ability to conceptualize of the knowledge in different discipline, different angle, and such kind of the thing. In the particular way, even that one, so many books which is really lamenting already about the left behind of the Muslim civilization. Sheikh Shakib Arslan, I think you may heard that one, that he even came out with the book, which is really very I can say very powerful message on that one. Address, but the book is still relevant until today, although the book was really produced in the early 70s at that time, but still relevant today. What he says in the title of the book, لماذا تأخر المسلمون وتقدم غيرهم. This is the reason on that one. We have the Quran, we have everything. Brothers and sisters, I don't know, it's my humble on that one. Scientifically, technologically, are left behind. Even not only on that one, sometimes what is the minds of the Muslim? What the Muslim mind of that today? Even now, that's one, if you go looking into the issue of this restaurants and everything, my goodness, that's one. The non-Muslim, they could produce the restaurant in all part of the world. In every corners of the world, there's emerged the non-Muslim restaurant. But unfortunately, that restaurant run by the non-Muslim, they also become the favorite by the Muslim themselves. Why are they competition of the Muslim? Why you should not come up with your own ideas and think in such kind of thing? This is the thing that I think we have to have the spirit how to revive. Because of this one, when you talk about the Quran is the source of the civilizational progress. The progress of the civilization is mentioned in the Quran, but how a Muslim to deal with the Quran itself. I think this is the one that I can share with you. I think I have to stop until here. Hopefully that one become the I can say the sort of the thought-provoking maybe on that one, and this is they have to reflect on that one. Thank you for your patience for listening my humble talk on that one, and I do apologize for all the weaknesses. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Unmute.
Shukran, Jazakallah khairan, Fazilatul Shaykh Ustad Dr. SOHIRIN Muhammad Solihin, Barakallah Fiq, Nafallah Bika Al Ummah. Alhamdulillah, we have listened to his lecture on Quranic governance, Universal Declaration of Equality of Mankind. It was a wonderful, very interactive and very informative with many dimensions, a eye-breaking thought and speech on the particular topic. Dr. SOHIRIN very nicely pointed out this on the topic. If I share with you the executive summary of few magnetic points, number one, he rightly pointed out the Tawhidic worldview when he mentioned that basically we all are belong and believe in the Tawhidic worldview, but when we come to the muamala, transaction, dealings with others or behavior, actually we sometimes our action is against the Tawhidic worldview. It's really true. And secondly, he mentioned that's very nice, I have learned today this Tawhid al-Istima'i, the sociological perspective of Tawhid. And also he also pointed out some challenges that we are now facing, Muslim societies, Muslim community around the globe, especially the concept and the philosophical thought of pluralism. He mentioned every religion actually should not claim this religion is the best. And also he gave some ideas about the point, is different school of thoughts he briefly identified and pointed out. And one of them also is Islamophobia, that is actually increased in the Western societies. And in concluding remark, he gave a very nice point, that is actually declaration of universal declaration of on equality of mankind that Quran has given is basically the peaceful coexistence and the collaboration or ta'aruf, or I can say the integration and justice. So we are very humble to thank you, Dr. SOHIRIN Muhammad Solihin, for your nice speech and topic. We have some announcement here before we open the floor for question and answer. This Qibla Academy of Tadabbur al-Quran, this program also is now broadcast in live, Facebook Live, basically the Qibla Kata, that is called the Facebook, Qibla Academy. You can see also, you can share the Kata Facebook with your friends, and also we have YouTube channel that is actually uploaded this recorded lecture, and that is the channel Tadabbur Kata. And as I mentioned earlier, the Qibla Academy of Tadabbur al-Quran organized weekly public lecture in 3 languages, mashallah, in Arabic, in English, and Bhasa Malay. Next Saturday, February 21, we have another public lecture. Lecture series number 8 is from another Al-Azhari scholar. He is Dr. Ibrahim al-Shahad. He will talk on the topic Tadabbur al-Quran and the role of Qiyamul Layl. So you are all warmly and cordially invited to join this Qibla Academy of Tadabbur al-Quran public lecture in English, in Arabic, or in Bhasa Malay. That is comfort for you. And now we open the floor for question and answer and comment to our distinguished participants. We have seen here many brothers and sisters, the seeking knowledge and the Quran, who are very interested to understand, to develop the knowledge in Tadabbur al-Quran. So floor is open. If you have any comment or question, please raise your hand and unmute and start to talk. Yes, any question? Any comment on particular topic? Dr. Soin also asking your comment, if you have anything to share with his topic. He'll welcome, inshallah, and also will be benefited. Okay, we have here some distinguished participants. I can see Dr. Yasser Adi is with us, also Dr. Ismail Omar. Yes, and Dr. Ismail Omar, he is also Managing Director of Qibla. If you have anything to share or comment, most welcome, Dr. Ismail.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes,
MashaAllah. I congratulate everybody. I'm sorry, sometimes I am a bit late. I enter for
okay, no problem.
Inshallah, because they're busy. I've been just come back from the Kuala Lumpur meeting. Shukran.
Okay, barakallah fiqh.
Barakallah fiqh.
Inshallah. So if you have any question, comment from other participant brothers and sisters, any comment on topic, inshallah, we'll enjoy. So no question and comment, because topic was very clear and very elaborated given by Dr. SOHIRIN Muhammad Solihin. Barakallah fiqh, Dr. Hayakumullah. So One, yes, brother, open the mic. Please, if you have comment. His ID, I see the Zoom user.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Walaikum salam. Is Dr. Yasir Mana?
Yes. السلام عليكم. How are you, Dr. SOHIRIN?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
جزاكم الله خيرا. Thank you much
Alhamdulillah.
about your lecture and your time.
Alhamdulillah.
Actually, I am talking from Peerless. So we have very, very bad net here. So sometimes, subhanAllah, I try to re-enter every time. But just I want to thanks for the lecture and topic. جزاكم الله خيرا.
Ameen. Shukran. Thank you very much, Dr. Yasir. Thank you. I hope we can see you again, inshallah, in one occasion.
As soon as possible, inshallah, when I go to
Amen.
KL.
Shukran. Dr. Yasir Radi, he is basically the Mudir, the director of Qibla Karima Tadabbur al-Quran, and also we appreciate for joining with us in this public lecture from the Parlis. Jazakallah khairan. So, dear brothers and sisters, distinguished participants, viewers, and listeners, again we are very humble to invite you for next public lecture in next Monday, February 21, the 9 p.m. Malaysian time, 4 p.m. Makkah time. That will be in English again from Al-Azhari scholar, Dr. Ibrahim Al-Shahad, and topic will be this Tadabbur al-Quran and the Qiyamul Layl. So without any further delay, we here again thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan. And finally, I give the floor for 1 minute to say the conclude, and if you have anything missing or want to add, Dr. SOHIRIN. SOHIRIN, please, Doctor.
So what is this one? Do you have to say something?
No, if you have anything that's important, you have to
Okay,
share.
okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you for
Okay.
listening, for your patience, inshallah. Hopefully that we
Barakallah.
can share up again in some other topic with Ta'ala, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, Dr. Jazakumullah khairan. See you again, inshallah. And dear distinguished participants, brothers and sisters, we end our session here. Tasbih kafratul majlis. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.